by 4-digit numbers. We've been practicing this with 1-digit by 2-digit numbers and 3-digit numbers. So we're just going to take it a step further today. So you should have your steps written down from the previous lessons. If you don't, please, I encourage you to pause the video and go ahead and write these steps down. As we add more numbers, we're adding more steps, but the steps stay the same. So you're just repeating yourself for each digit in each place value. So let's do some examples with this so that we can practice. So I'm going to give you the numbers 3,212. Oops, let's make that a little bit neater. 3,212 times 3. So I have 3,212 times 3. Again, same exact steps we've been doing. Nothing is really changing. The only thing that we're adding is another step because now we have a thousands place. So if you would recognize here, you can see my very first step is I always put my bigger number on top. I put the smaller number on the bottom and I line them up in the ones place, right? So you can see that my ones place is lined up, right? My 2 and my 3. Now, if you would like to, you can separate the rest of your place values. So you have your ones, you have your tens, you have your hundreds, and I'm just abbreviating for these, and you have your thousands, right? So feel free to separate. Graph paper is really great because it already has the lines for you. So if you have some graph paper at home, feel free to use the graph paper as well. That'll help you kind of separate your place values. So we're going to start in the ones place just like we've been doing. It says multiply the ones place together. So we're going to multiply the ones place together. We're going to multiply 3 times 2. We're going to multiply 3 times 2. So 3 times 2, and you can write it over here on the side like we've been doing. I know that 3 times 2 is 6. 6 is just a 1-digit number. 3 times 2 is 6. So there's just going to be a 6 in the ones place. There's nothing we have to carry over because we didn't get a 2-digit number when we multiplied. So this is off to a good start. All right, so next I'm going to multiply my ones place by the tens place. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 1. So I'm just going to draw some arrows for everybody to see. First, we did 3 times 2. Now we're going to do 3 times the digit in the one, or in the digit in the tens place, which is a 1. So 3 times 1. I know that 3 times 1 is 3, so I just bring the 3 down. Okay, so we've done step 1, we stacked our numbers on top of each other. We've done step 2, we multiplied my ones places together. And step 3, we multiplied the ones by the tens. Now, there's no number that we carried over. So remember, in step 3 and 4, it does say to add any carried digit to your product, but we don't have any carried digit, right? So you could just ignore that part of that step. All right, now let's go to the next step. It says multiply the ones place by the hundreds place. So I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to multiply it by the digit in the hundreds place. I have 3 times 2, and I know that 3 times 2 is 6. So I just bring the 6 down into the hundreds place. Okay. All right, now I move to the last step. So this is just the extra step that we have to add on because we are multiplying a thousands digit. We have to make sure that we add one more step. So now we're going to multiply the ones place by the thousands place. So I'm going to take my 3 ones that I have here. I'm going to multiply it by my thousands place. So again, that's 3 times 3, which I know that 3 times 3 is 9. And I'm just going to bring the 9 down and I'm done. 9,636 is my product. So this one, we didn't have any carrying that we had to do. There was nothing that we had to carry over. So a problem like this should be pretty simple for you to do just because it's just your basic multiplication facts. Now let's do one where we're going to have to carry over some digits. So go ahead and write this problem down. I have 1,593 times 4. Go ahead and write that problem down. 1,593 times 4. Okay, so we're going to start again. We already did step 1. Step 1 will a lot of the times be done for you because most of the time when you see a multiplication problem, the larger number will already be on top. However, if it's a word problem, you're going to have to know that you have to pick out your numbers and multiply them. You'll always put the bigger number on top. So step 1 is done already. Let's take a look at step 2. Again, we're just multiplying this number. I'm going to circle this for everybody to see. We're multiplying our smaller number by all of the digits up top. So we're going to multiply the 4 by the 3. We're going to multiply the 4 by the 9, the 4 by the 5, and the 4 by the 1. We are multiplying this 4 by all of the digits in the larger number. Okay, so let's start though with 4 times 3 because we start in the ones place. Okay, we start in the ones place. So I'm going to do 4 times 3. Okay, and I know that 4 times 3 is equal to 12. Again, if you need to use your multiplication table, please use that. Please make sure you always have that available for you. It's in your Google Classroom underneath the classwork tab. It's titled multiplication chart. All right, so we know that 4 times 3 is 12. Again, I cannot put 12 in the ones place because 12 is considered to be 1 10 and 2 1s. So we're going to put those 2 1s in the ones place. And we're going to carry the 1 10 into the tens place. And we're going to put that right above the 9 because that's where the tens place is in this number. The 9 is in the tens place. So we're going to go ahead and pop that right on top of the 9. All right, done with step 2. Now it's time to go to step 3. We need to multiply our ones place by our tens place. So let's get a different color. I'm going to multiply 4 times 9. I know that 4 times 9 is 32. But wait a second, don't forget, we need to add any carried digit to the product. So we carried over that 1, so 4 times 9 is 32. 32 plus 1 is 33. Bear with me as my whiteboard is acting a little funky. So 33. So 4 times 9 is 32, plus the 1 10 that we carried is 33 tens. Now, we should know back when we learned about place value, I can't put 33 in the tens place, right? 33 tens. That is 330, right? So I'm going to put the 3 into the tens place, and I'm going to carry the other 3 into the hundreds place where it belongs. All right, step 3 is done. Let's move on to step 4. Step 4 says multiply the ones place by the hundreds place. So I'm going to take my 4, multiply it by the digit in the hundreds place. I have 4 times 5. I know that 4 times 5 is 20, but wait a second. I have to add the 3 that I carried over. So I have 20 hundreds plus 3 more hundreds, or 20 plus 3, which is equal to 23 hundreds. Again, I know I can't put 23 in the hundreds place, so I'm going to rethink about this as, okay, 23 hundreds. Well, that's 2,300. So I'm going to have to put my 3 in the hundreds place where it belongs and carry my 2 into the thousands place. All right, and our last step that we need to do is we need to multiply the 4 by the thousands place. So 4 times 1 is 4. But don't forget, we have to add the 2 that we carried over. So 4 plus 2 more is equal to 6. Bring the 6 down. fill in where your comma should go, right after the thousands, in between the hundreds and the thousands, and your product is 6,332. 6,332. So a takeaway from multiplication with larger numbers. You need to make sure that you're multiplying each place value by the smaller digit, and you also need to make sure that you're adding any carried digit, right? So we multiply, and then we add any carried digit that we need to. So I'm going to take you over here, and we're going to take a look at some other problems. I'm going to encourage you to pause the video. And I'm going to pull over these task cards that I have hidden over here. All right, zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we have all of our steps to the left-hand side. So these 4 problems that I have right here on these 4 task cards, I encourage you to go ahead and pause, work through these 4 problems, and then we will go over the products once you're finished. So go ahead and pause the video, work through these 4 problems, and when you're ready, come back to me and I will go over the answers. All right, so you should have paused the video and went through and worked through these 4 multiplication problems. So I just want to go over the products for you. I will actually do the first 2 with you, and then the last 2 I'm just going to tell you the answers for time purposes. However, for the first one, you had 1,384 times 7. So when you do 7 times 4, you know that 7 times 4 is 28. So the 8 should have came down, and you should have carried the 2 into the tens place. Okay. Now it's time to multiply the 7 by the tens place. So 7 times 8 I know is 56, but I have to add that 2 that I carried over. So 56 plus 2 more, 58. So I'm going to bring the 8 down and carry the 5 into the hundreds place. Now I'm going to multiply 7 times 3. 7 times 3 is 21, but I know I have to add that 5, so 21 plus 5 is 26. 6 comes down, I carry my 2. 7 times 1, this is my last step, 7 times 1 is 7, but I have to add the 2 that I carried over, those 2,000s that I carried over. So 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. So my product should be 9,688. Okay, give yourself some cheer, some love, kiss on the brain if you got that correct. If you didn't get that correct, I encourage you to find your mistake and make sure that you fix your work, okay? Next one, we have 2,496 times 3. So I'm going to do 3 times 6. I'll draw the arrows for this one. So 3 times 6, I know that 3 times 6 is 18. So I bring my 8 down and I carry my 1 into the tens place. All right, now I'm going to do 3 times 9 because remember, when we're multiplying, we're just taking the smaller digit, that smaller number 3, and we're multiplying it by all of the digits in my bigger number. So 3 times 9 I know is 27, but I can't just have 27 because I know that I have that 1 10 that I carried over. So 27 tens plus the 1 more 10 would be 28 tens. So 3 times 9 is 27. Plus 1 more is 28. The 8's going to come down. I'm going to carry the 2 into the hundreds place. All right, 3 times 4 is 12 plus the 2 more that I carried over. 12 plus 2 is 14. 4 comes down, carry your 1. And last step, step 5, multiply our ones place by the thousand. So I'm going to have 3 times 2. I know that 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 1 more that I carried over. 6 plus 1 is 7. So my product should be 7,488. Okay, and then for the last 2, for 7,899 times 5, you should have got 39,495 as your product. And for 3,990 times 7, you should have got 27,900 30. Okay. So making sure that we're following the steps, we're adding any carry digit, putting our digits in the correct place value, that'll help us succeed in multiplying 1 digit by 4-digit numbers. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Keep practicing. Go back into your practice work, your classwork, and feel free to just even make up problems on your own and solve them.